Today, FDA approvals in brain cancer, lung cancer, and melanoma. Priority reviews granted in lung cancer and soft tissue sarcoma. Hello and welcome to OncLive News Network. I'm Laura Jones. The FDA has approved an expanded indication for the Optune system in combination with temozolomide as a treatment for patients with newly diagnosed glioblastoma following surgery, chemotherapy, and radiation therapy. According to manufacturer Novocure, Optune is the first FDA-approved therapy in more than a decade to demonstrate statistically significant extension of survival in this population. In a full analysis of 695 patients enrolled in the pivotal Phase 3 EF14 study, the median overall survival was 19.4 months for the Optune arm, compared with 16.6 months with temozolomide alone. Additionally, the FDA noted that progression-free survival was improved by approximately 3 months, 7.1 months with the combination, 4 months with the control. Approximately half of the patients who used the device experienced some form of skin irritation. The FDA initially approved Optune in 2011 as a monotherapy for adult patients with glioblastoma that recurred or progressed after chemotherapy. Patients newly diagnosed with this challenging and aggressive form of brain cancer now have another treatment option available, Dr. William Maisel, acting director of the Office of Device Evaluation in the FDA's Center for Devices and Radiological Health, said in a statement. While the treatment is not a cure, it can increase survival by several months. The FDA granted an accelerated approval to pembrolizumab as a treatment for patients with pretreated advanced PD-L1 expressing non-small cell lung cancer across all histologies. The agent was approved along with a companion diagnostic, the PD-L1 IHC 22C3 PharmDx test. The indication is for patients who progressed on or after platinum-containing chemotherapy or an EGFR or ALK-targeted therapy. In the pivotal single-arm KEYNOTE-001 trial, the overall response rate with pembrolizumab was 41% among a subgroup of 61 patients with pre-treated PD-L1 positive advanced non-small cell lung cancer. A survival improvement has yet to be demonstrated. The accelerated approval is contingent upon the eventual outcomes of confirmatory studies. This approval marks the first for a PD-1 inhibitor specifically in patients with PD-L1 expressing tumors. Dr. Primo Lara of UC Davis told OncLive in a recent interview that more research is needed regarding the use of PD-L1 as a biomarker.
We think that tumors and/or immune cells that express PD-L1 tend to be the ones that will benefit from these checkpoint inhibitors. The truth of the matter is, they probably do identify a big group of patients who will benefit from these checkpoint inhibitors, but they also do not identify patients who may potentially benefit but don't have that marker. So I think the jury is still out in using PD-L1 status as the primary determinant of who benefits or not.
For more of this interview, visit onclive.com. The FDA has granted an accelerated approval to the immunotherapy combination of nivolumab and ipilimumab as a treatment for patients with BRAF V600 wild-type unresectable or metastatic melanoma based on findings from the Phase 2 CheckMate 069 study. In the double-blind study, the PD-1 inhibitor nivolumab plus the CTLA-4 inhibitor ipilimumab reduced the risk of progression or death by 60% compared with ipilimumab alone. Median PFS was 8.9 months in the combination arm versus 4.7 months in the ipilimumab arm. With the combination, the objective response rate was 60% compared with 11% with ipilimumab alone. OncLive spoke with melanoma expert Dr. Eric Whitman about the trial following the annual meeting of the American Association for Cancer Research earlier this year, where the CheckMate 069 results were presented.
Checkmate 069 was also presented at AACR this week, and another exciting trial. I mean, we had phase 1 data about a year ago, combination therapy with ipilimumab, which is approved, and nivolumab, which is approved, but they're not approved in combination. And although the toxicity is a little higher, the results are really spectacular. And I think that's the key word for that, spectacular. You have 61% of people had measurable tumor shrinkage as per the standard RECIST 1.1 criteria. But if you look at the data even further, there's only about 14% of patients who didn't respond who actually had disease grow, and that's unbelievable.
The FDA has granted priority review designation to rociletinib for patients with EGFR T790M mutant metastatic non-small cell lung cancer following prior administration of an EGFR TKI. The approval was based on data from the ongoing phase 1/2 TIGER-X trial. In patients with this mutation who receive rociletinib at the 500 milligram dose, the objective response rate was 60% and the disease control rate was 90%. The FDA received data from the TIGER-X trial under a rolling submission, which was allowed as part of a breakthrough therapy designation received in May 2014. According to Dr. Corey Langer of the Abramson Cancer Center, the development of resistance among patients on EGFR-targeted therapies is virtually inevitable. In this next clip, Dr. Langer discusses the T790M mutation in lung cancer.
This is a rapidly emerging clinical story. It's really in the last 2 to 3 years that we've recognized the importance of T790 as a mechanism of resistance for those who had previously responded to EGFR TKIs. Initially, it was thought to constitute maybe 40 or 45%. Now, in more recent studies, it's predominant. It's at least 60%.
The FDA has granted a priority review designation to the microtubule inhibitor eribulin as a treatment for patients with advanced soft tissue sarcoma following chemotherapy. The decision was based on an extension in overall survival with the agent compared with dacarbazine in the phase 3 Study 309 trial. Pre-treated patients with intermediate and high-grade leiomyosarcoma or adipocytic sarcoma experienced a median overall survival with eribulin of 13.5 months compared with 11.5 months for dacarbazine, representing a 23% reduction in the risk of death. The median OS in patients with the ADI subtype was 15.6 months with eribulin compared with 8.4 months with dacarbazine. In the LMS group, patients treated with eribulin had a median OS of 12.7 months versus 13 months with dacarbazine. And that'll do it for today. Thanks so much for watching OncLive News Network. I'm Laura Jones. We'll see you next time.